Okay, so starting off, I realized that the weather usually symbolized like whatever mood that the characters were feeling. So I have a quote on page 261 that says, "The rainy night had ushered in a misty morning, half frost, half drizzle, and temporary brooks crossed our path gurgling from the uplands." Like normally, like in the book, I realized, like I don't know if you guys agree, but I realized that fog kind of was like confusion and like storms were almost like anger and like rain was kind of like dreary and sad almost. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, there wasn't really ever like a time where it was like, oh, the sun's shining and the kids were playing outside and the birds were chirping. It was always just like, ooh, it's foggy out today, or like, ooh, it's raining. Like they're always riding horses in the rain.
Right.
Yeah, they're not really happy people. Like there's always like a conflict going on, or like someone's always sick, or someone's always mad at someone's.
Yeah, especially in this last section, everybody was sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and dying off left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think about when, one sec, let me find it. When Catherine started like sneaking off to go see Linton.
Yeah. I got kind of confused because, like, I don't know. I was confused because her dad is sick and Linton is sick. Wouldn't you feel more of an attachment to, like, stay and, like, help take care of your dad instead of, like, sneaking off and taking care of Linton? Like, why does she not want to stay and take care of her dad? And, like, I mean, I think she does, but why does she, like, sneak around like that?
Yeah, I don't know. And, like, wasn't there one point where Linton was he was, like, rude to her?
Yeah.
And then, like, then he, like, guilted her into, like, coming back. I'm like, why would you, like, if someone was, like, rude and, like, nasty to you, like, why would you want to go back and, like, oh, yeah, I'll take care of you?
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I feel like she's almost, like, since she's a teenager, she's kind of, like, if her dad says don't do it, she's kind of like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyways.
Rebellious.
Yeah, very.
And, like, when Linton, I know Linton kept saying, like, it's your fault, you're the reason why I'm sick. Which, that made me confused. Like, how is it Catherine's fault? And, like, I feel like Heathcliff was trying to blame it on her, that it was all her fault. I don't know, maybe she just felt bad because in a way she maybe felt like she was the one at fault.
Yeah, because didn't it say, like, Harriton was, like, bullying him, and that's why, like, he snapped at Kathy?
Yeah.
Which, like, it wasn't, like, her fault because Harriton, like, chose to, like, decide to, like, lash out at Linton instead of, like, Kathy.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with, like, what you were saying, Jenna, because Heathcliff was, like, telling Catherine, like, oh, Linton is sick because of the broken heart you gave him, and, like, Linton is sick because of you, but when really it was, I mean, it wasn't because of a broken heart.
Right. And Heathcliff slapped Catherine.
Yeah.
He was beating her. I was confused by that because it wasn't, like, his daughter. That's what got me. It's like Nellie couldn't do anything about it because Mr. Edgar Linton, like, wasn't there to step in or anything. So he's just doing what he wanted.
Yeah. Speaking of Edgar, not Edward, Edgar, I wanted to talk about his death and how he, how he was buried next to his wife and then Catherine, and then Heathcliff just jumps in and is buried next to her too. He's like in the middle of them. Like, how creepy is that?
Yeah, like how he said that, like, he dug her up and looked at her and it still resembled her face. And then he wanted the one side of her coffin to be taken out and the one side of Heathcliff's coffin to be taken out and to smash them together so that they can lie peacefully in the earth or something.
2 people, 1 coffin.
Yeah.
I was confused because he said, like, this is where it all started, us in the earth or something. I'm like, us in the dirt or something.
Yeah.
What does that
I
mean?
know. I know, it was like super confusing, like how he wanted to just like dig up the body and just lay next to him when technically he wasn't even married to her, but he wanted to be part of her in the earth.
It's the incest thing again.
Yeah.
They're brother and sister, yet he wants to lay next to her in a coffin?
Right.
Gross.
And
Nappy.
speaking of which, after Linton, the little guy, he ends up marrying Catherine. And then they're all happy and stuff, I guess. And, I mean, Heathcliff's still torturing them. And then they go, and Linton dies, little Linton. And then, at the end of the book, Catherine moves on and marries Hareton.
Yeah, I felt that was weird because Hareton's just a little, like, brat and he's so mean to everyone.
Yeah.
And then it said, like, at the end how, like, they both know how to love and respect each other. Which was, like, after all that of the families fighting and Heathcliff always talking trash about Catherine and the Mr. Linton and stuff, like, I feel like that you could still be separated. I just wouldn't like that.
Yeah. And the part where, a little before that, where Heathcliff and Hareton, they like, wait, am I going ahead of myself? The part where they like locked them in the rooms.
In the rooms, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, who just locks them in there for days?
Yeah, and Heathcliff like locked him in there while her dad was dying so that they could be separated and that she couldn't see him while he was dying to make him think that she ran away and didn't love him anymore.
I know, but I was happy that Nellie got to go. Yeah. Nellie left after like 5 days or whatever, and she went back and she told Edgar that Kathy really would like to be there, but she can't. She's trapped or whatever.
Right.
She kind of explained it to him, so I was like, well, that's a little better.
Yeah, and I realized too that like the only reason why Heathcliff wanted Linton to marry Catherine was for the Grange estates because he knew her dad was dying. So, and then it says on page 310, Catherine always spoke of it as her house. It isn't hers, it's mine. Papa says everything she has is mine. So, like, you can obviously tell that it's not love there at that point. It's just for the possessions. And I don't think that's okay.
No.
No.
Yeah. But didn't it, like, turn out okay? Because didn't he, like, on his deathbed, he, like, changed his will? Or something?
No, he wanted to, but he died before his lawyer got there.
I thought, like, Nellie told the lawyer to go through with it. Or did the lawyer say he, like, couldn't?
I don't know. I knew they went through with him being buried next to Catherine, because he was supposed to be in his tomb, but don't worry, he's next to Kathy.
Oh, you mean Heathcliff?
Oh.
No. Mr. Linton, like, on his deathbed, he wanted it, but he died before the lawyer got there. Mm-hmm. But I thought Nellie, like, had told the lawyer to still go through with the plans. I don't know if it happened or not, but I thought that's what she wanted.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
I know some of the text in there is kind of confusing how they worded it.
Yeah.
Whole book.
Yeah, the whole book. Well, you know, in our previous seminar thingies, it said we were talking about the whole incest thing and this seminar. And I was actually watching a documentary about English times in the 1800s, and it said marrying first cousins was not uncommon.
Oh,
and I was like, this is the time period that it was written in. This makes sense. It's like, I can't imagine marrying my first cousin.
Me either.
No, I mean, they're all girls, but
Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh.
just kidding. They are. But,
yeah, I could not imagine doing that. But, yeah, I mean, I could kind of see it. Where that's a common thing. Because no one was really too upset when they all started, like, being in love with each other. Although it does make it better that Heathcliff was adopted, but it's still not great.
Yeah, it's the concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like at the end how, like, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Like she's like her
Oh,
first
I
husband
know.
dies, her dad dies, her mom dies, Linton's mom dies.
Yeah. Yeah, all of the
Heathcliff
everybody
dies,
except
I
for
know.
Yeah, Heathcliff
Harrington,
dies.
Little Kathy.
little Kathy, and
Nellie.
Nellie. And then Mr. Lockwood.
Zilla.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to know how old Nellie is. She must be pretty
Yeah.
old.
I know. I was thinking that too. But I don't know. But I do know that this, I mean, it was a good book. I mean, like Mikhail said earlier, I would recommend it to advanced readers, but I mean, I think it wasn't bad. Oops,
I mean, I think it dragged on quite a bit,
quite a bit.
a few tears shed, but you know it was like a 3 on the scale of 20. I'm kidding.
Just joshing you, Rhodesy.
But yeah, a little hard to get into, but once you got into it, great. Were no horses in it, but I mean there was
a bust.
Yeah, there was a few horses, but yeah, great book.
The end.
The end.
Bye.
Bye.